What's going on, y'all? Taylor with y'all 106.7 in the Red Wing Shoes studio. Today we are joined by singer-songwriter Miss Charly Reynolds.
Yes.
Welcome to y'all.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. You look stunning. I love your outfit.
Thank you.
Your denim is very 90s.
Thank you. I'm a big denim on denim girl. So.
We love it. We love it.
Thank you.
We were just talking about schools and where we went, and you were saying you were originally going to go for journalism.
Yes.
So when did you decide I'm going to sing country music?
Well, I kind of knew that I wanted to, but I felt like it wasn't really an option. Like I thought I had to go to college, and if I didn't want to go for music, so I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And my parents were like so supportive of me moving here and doing this first, and being like, you can always go back and go to college. Like you don't have to do this right now.
Yeah.
And so I didn't. So now I'm here, and I don't regret it one bit at all.
When did you start like writing songs or playing or singing?
Yeah, so I started singing when I was really little. I've always sang forever. But writing, I think I was like 14 when I first started writing and co-writing and stuff in Orlando, just like getting into it very on a small scale. I had no idea what I was doing. Just started writing songs. I put out an album and an EP in high school. And you cannot find that anymore anywhere. So definitely don't go looking. Yeah. But that stuff, that was like kind of where I got the start, and then just kind of continued when I moved here when I was 18.
So great.
Yeah.
Who did you grow up listening to? Little Shania Twain?
Definitely Shania Twain. Carrie Underwood was big for me growing up. Martina McBride is a favorite as well. Reba. Taylor Swift when she was country. I was like 8 at the time, so loved Taylor. Okay. And yeah, those are just a few of my influences.
That Teardrops on my guitar, and like the Tim McGraw, and
so
like the Hey
good.
Stephen. I'm like, I miss that Taylor.
Me
not that she's
too.
not great, but
no,
I do.
I miss that Taylor too.
Yeah,
I do
good.
too.
But you mentioned Carrie Underwood, and I kind of hear that in your music. Your new album, Off the Record. You have a song about murder.
Yes.
That is called Off the Record.
Yeah,
That's that exact track. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's such a funny thing. I don't know, like when. I mean, I know Goodbye Earl is a murder song, but Murder Country just like kind of had a thing last year. There just seemed to be a lot of those songs. And I just was like, I want one. Like, I want to do one of those because it's fun to be an author and like write this fake story. You know, like it was just fun. And we filmed the music video for it yesterday. And it was like, it's based in the 60s, and it was fun to play a character and I obviously have not murdered anyone. So it was like
Off the record.
It was funny to play this like psycho woman in like a pretty dress and everything. It was just fun.
It's so cool. When does the video come out?
In a few weeks. So you'll have to keep watching for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like Carrie, like she had the Jesus Take the Wheel, but then she did like 2 black Cadillacs.
Oh,
you know what I
love
mean?
that song.
So
yeah,
there's so many layers to your artistry. I wrote down some of my favorites. Another one, Another Man Will.
Yes.
Hurt People Hurt. I loved all of those.
Thank
so have we
you.
lived through some heartbreaks or?
You know, I'm more of a heartbreaker. Unfortunately, not proud of that.
Yeah.
But I am more of the heartbreaker. I don't really feel feelings very hard. I just I break them before they happen, which is terrible. That's kind of what Love You Long is about, that song on the album. But Hurt People Hurt actually was written from a standpoint of like, we wrote it as a relationship song, but it really came more from like mean girls and just people, just like random people. Because I know like in school, I had mean girls. I think a lot of girls go through that. Just bullies. And it was kind of more so written from that. Like that idea anyway, was like where that idea came from for me. Because it was just like, you know, I have questioned those questions in the beginning of the song. Like, am I enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I skinny enough? Am I too loud when I'm drinking? Like, am I just too much? Whatever. And it's like, I felt those with just a bunch of different people or growing up or whatever. And so I just kind of put those into the song, and we changed it to a relationship perspective just because it made a little bit more sense for the writing. But I love that one. That's one of my favorites for sure. And Another Man Will is too. You named like my 2 favorites off the album. So that's funny.
I mean, I love them all. It was hard to pick a favorite, but I was like, if I had to narrow it down to just a few. So I love that. And that's such a good point. Like how someone treats you is a direct reflection of them and not you. And so I think that's a powerful way to say that in a story. So what made you want to cut the Gloria, I Will Survive then?
Yeah. So honestly, I have this weird memory of like, I don't know how old I was, but I was young. And I walked in my brother Kyle's room and it was playing. And I just remember hearing it and I was like, I like this song. And so I started, when I used to play on Broadway, I used to play at Miranda Lambert's bar twice a week. And I was like, let's start playing that because I feel like people love that song. And I hope they do as much as I do. So we started playing it and it was like a hit every time we played it. And so now I play it at every show. And I was like, why not do my own version if I already play it at all my shows? And so I was kind of nervous though, because it's such like a classic song that I didn't want to like mess it up or, you know, not do it justice. And I think we did though. We added some banjo and fiddle in there and like kind of made it a country version while still keeping like true to its roots for itself.
And you sound incredible on
Oh,
it.
thank you.
I think it was amazing.
Thank you.
Speaking of live shows, you've performed with Walker Hayes, Lainey Wilson's, Elle King, Maddie Tae. Those are all shows that you have been on. So what are some goals that you have if you think of like your dream tour or, you know, is there anything certain in your career that you're trying to achieve?
For sure. I mean, as far as like a dream tour, man, that's hard because right now I just want to be on tour. I'm like, just anyone, please give me a chance. Please take me out. It's just what I want to do every weekend. But Cody Johnson would be amazing to open for. I was on a festival lineup with him in Florida at Country Thunder, and he was just so kind. Like they watched the whole show. They talked to us after and complimented us, which was just so kind, and like they didn't have to do that. So that just showed me like someone that I'd love to tour with, someone that's genuine like that and really awesome and kind. But also, I mean, Shania obviously would be insane. She's amazing. Carrie. I mean, there's so many that I could name, honestly.
Cody's so great. And he's coming to Bridgestone in February.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Bring you. We have tickets.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He added 2 dates, the Valentine's Day and then the day after, because the demand for tickets were so high. But he was like slept on for the longest time. I feel like
I know. But he's incredible.
He's
like
so great.
I've seen him a few times and like every time his voice too just blows me away. Like his vocals are insane. So he's a great artist.
We're gonna speak that into existence for you.
Yes, let's do it. We'll put it out there. Yeah.
So is there anything that you want our listeners to know about you that we maybe didn't touch on?
Well, I'm currently like doing shows all around. I'm in Illinois tomorrow. We'll be in Maryland, in Hanover, Maryland, South Carolina, Orlando, just till December, and then hopefully out on the road other places. But yeah, I hope to see you guys at a show, and
absolutely,
it's fun to be able to play the album out like in full, because I don't really do that very often. So I'm excited to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah. And then when people start singing it back to you, you're just
so fun.
I can only imagine what that's like.
Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. What is your favorite venue that you've played so far?
Oh, my favorite venue. That's kind of hard. This is kind of a weird one to say, but probably Old Red Orlando, and only because it holds like a sentimental thing for me because it's my hometown. And every time I play there, they pack it out. And so I think it's just my favorite just because of that. I get to see like literally everyone I've grown up with, all their family and friends. And so it just like means a lot to me. So I think that spot is just like super special for me.
That's so I love that.
Yeah.
Like hometown crowds, they show up.
They do.
They're
it is
loyal
so
kind.
Fun. And I was supposed to have an album release show in Orlando the 28th of September, but the hurricane we had to reschedule just because we would have been driving down the path of the hurricane and that was not safe. So we rescheduled it to November 8th, which honestly I'm kind of glad because I'm like, okay, now they have time to learn the album and like listen to it and maybe sing it back. So it'll be even better this time.
Well, that's so exciting. We're loving this album and we can't wait to make it out to a live show.
Thanks.
Is the best way to keep up with you on Instagram at Charly Reynolds Music? Yes. Are you on TikTok?
Yes. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all Charly Reynolds Music.
Love it. Charly Reynolds, y'all. This is y'all 106.7.